Hey guys, Nebraska Farm Boy here, and today we're going to be talking about my personal farm EDC. And most of this stuff has been riding around on me for several months now. It's stuff I use all the time. I didn't just put it on for the sake of this video. I really do carry this stuff every day. It has an overall weight of about 3 pounds, and I divide up how I carry it into 5 different categories. I have either it rides on my tack belt, it rides in either of my 2 front pockets, or my 2 back pockets. I further divide that down into my front left pocket carries my tools, my front right pocket carries my knives, my tack belt carries my 2 bigger knives, and my back pockets carry, well, we'll talk about that in just a second. So we'll start out with what I have on my tack belt. I generally have more than this on my tack belt. This is just what rides around on me every day. Right here I have a Frontier Double Eagle folding pocket knife. That's just for if I happen to shoot a rabbit. It'd be a real shame not to have a sharp, clean knife to skin it with. And then over here we have a Buck 110. This is just a large hunting knife. It has some sentimental attachments to it, part of why I carry it around all the time. But I do use it quite a bit, and I don't know, I like carrying a big knife. And since we're already on the topic of knives, I'll go on to my front right pocket. And in that, I also carry a watch, and that's supposed to be on my wrist, but the band broke. We all know why we carry watches, so we can tell the time, you know. Very nice. I don't need to belabor that point. Alright, so what else do we have here? I have 3 knives here. I have my knife, which is 3 blades. I keep these smaller blades here sharp for jobs that need to be sharp. And then over here I have my Swiss Army knife, and this has obviously some extra tools on it. And then it also has this blade, which I use as my beater blade because it's a $5 blade and it's bent already, so I use it for those jobs that I don't want to use any of my other blades for. And then I also have this knife, which is also a pliers, a needle nose pliers, which is very nice for getting to small areas that my other pliers can't reach. And then it also has a pretty good blade on it. Only you can be open from the right hand. It has a pretty nice blade on it. I use that one a lot. It has some other nice tools on it. So now we'll move on to what I carry in my front left pocket. And here we have pliers, some rope, and a multi-wrench sort of thingy. Now pliers really are an essential on a farm. I know I just showed you my multi-tool, which had pliers on it too, but these are just your good heavy-duty pliers, which are going to get the job done. I carry those mainly because they're smaller. I can pull ticks off my dog, stuff like that. These are just good for fencing, for pulling off stubborn hoses, stuff like that. These that happen to be semi-insulated. You know, it's nice to kind of think you might not get shocked while you're working on fence. And then we have this weird multi-wrench thingamabob. It's very useful. I especially use the 5/16, and unfortunately that's stripping out, so I'm going to have to figure out something new for that. It's also very nice to have if you're riding on your bicycle and your chain falls off. There's just a lot of times that you have to loosen a stubborn nut, and this will work for most of your areas. I have no idea where you would find one of these. This one, I'm sure it's not made anymore. I think it was my great-great-grandpa's, but maybe you can find one. And then we have rope, and this is usually coiled up, but uncoiled in my hand, so I figured I would just unravel it all the rest of the way. And this can come in handy. Sometimes I'll be pulling a large pile of sticks, and I'll just need to have something to keep it contained. There's a lot of times that just a little bit of rope can come in handy. You could also use that as a tourniquet. You can use that in a lot of different ways. And you can find this stuff for free. So now moving on to my back pockets. What I carry in my left pocket is these life cards. They're just a piece of metal with lots of cutouts in them. This one has a Phillips head and a flathead screwdriver, some different wrenches. This one also has some different tools on it. They're good for a lot of different things. I wouldn't say that I use them all the time, but they're so flat, they just fit in your pocket, and it's kind of like, why not? I mean, they pulled me, I was just using them today to take a hose end off, and yeah, I was glad I had them. And then finally, I have a bandana. And this thing is good for, you know, if you get a cut, you can put it on there. You can also use it as a dust mask, and you know, you never know when you'll need to look like a cowboy. There, you don't recognize me now, do you? So that's what I carry for my EDC. You know, sometimes I carry other stuff, you know, like a fence tester, but all that stuff doesn't really count because it's really a duty-specific tool. I don't carry it with me all day, every day. This is just stuff I find myself using all the time, and I'm constantly having to run back to grab it, so I just figured just put it all on. Anyhow, I hope you enjoyed this video, and yeah, I guess that's about it. Without any further ado, I am signing off. We'll see you next time.